Oh yeah, today we're getting ready to modify this, but before we do, I want to talk about it. I've already messed with this. I've already put a 10 kg spring in this, and I was getting upwards of around 147 foot-a-second out of a standard length dart, which is pretty good. The prime is super duper stiff. I think the spring is a worker, but what it's starting to do is, and I knew it would because it's way too much spring, is the catch is starting to slip. I'd say it's probably tearing it apart right now. It's probably actually peeling it off, or the plunger tube's probably getting tore up. So the front gun we will do something with later because they are super crappy anyway, and more than likely you're gonna run it like this anyway. But it does not perform anything like it should. But for now, I'm only concentrating on this part. So I've got some parts for it, and I will show you what we're going to do to this. Like I said, the only thing that's done to it right now is it's had the restrictor taken out of it. I'll probably just share them in community tab maybe. I already took pictures of them on my phone when I did it and how I did it, and I'll show you and the bit size and all that goodness, and I'll explain it all when I'm done how it went, because I'm gonna show you the parts I'm gonna put in it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and probably do the modification off camera, and then I will either bring pieces down here and show you as I'm working on it what's going on. But yeah, I'm going to do this on a big table. It's nice to have this built apart on a big table. It's not very small table friendly. You need a big table for this thing when you take her apart. But so that's the idea. Like I said, I have a long shot and I didn't want to mess with it. I didn't want it messed up. I wanted it left alone in its original configuration. But this one here it's an Icon that I bought at my Ollie's. They're on sale. I got it for like $26. It's basically the same blaster in every way, except it's yellow and it says Icon on it. I don't even think the quality is really even any different. I think it's literally the same. But the speed's the same. Everything else is the same. The bolt actually comes apart on this one. I don't know how many times you can take it apart before it gets tore up, though. We took it apart and I put it back in there. I don't know how many more times you can do that. Now, I know a long strike, if you mess with this, more than likely you break it, because I broke mine when I took it apart. So, have that be known if you mess with one of these. Anyway, there's the goods we got for it. It's got a 10.5 kg spring in it right now, which, like the one that was in it, really isn't a whole lot more than what's in a Retaliator. Just a little bit longer, and honestly, maybe a little bit bigger, but I don't think, honestly, pressure-wise, it's much more than what's in a Retaliator, really. I mean, it's not really that strong. Now, it might be good if you took it and put it in a Retaliator. That might be something. Got a bunch of Retaliators laying around for that kind of stuff. But here's what we got. So this is a worker. This is the bolt carrier. Bolt sled. Whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it the carrier, because it's kind of what it is. So, this here, these were on sale at a Darts. They got all this good stuff here. The only thing I didn't get was the breech. I think it was more money than I wanted to spend at that time, because I had enough other stuff going. But this is aluminum, or I think that's what that is, aluminum. But it's rose gold. I didn't care if it's going inside I don't care what color it is, really. But there's that. And then, like I said, it comes with the pin so that you can pin it up here, your barrel. You can pin it back in. I think that's what that pin's actually for. And then your bolt will actually go through there. So, I don't know how strong the factory one is. Maybe it will break. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, that 10 kg spring's pretty stout. So, probably eventually would break it anyway. So, maybe this is a really good upgrade. It was on sale like $8. I don't know if it still is. But like I said, I got mine out of Darts. That's what it was. And they had it on sale. So, I went ahead and grabbed it. I thought I'd like to do all this stuff. I think, honestly, I just forgot to get the breech, because I wanted to put the breech in it, too, because I didn't want to open this thing back up again. But I was just curious what would happen with the spring. But anyway, so this is another upgrade I think you needed to do. This is the trigger, which that doesn't matter. But that catch, it does matter. That's a huge deal right there, because this is what holds, that's what actually holds the plunger, I guess plunger, I don't even know what you call it, because this is actually the trigger. And then this is the trigger catch here, but I don't know what you call it. what would you call that? I guess a spring lock, spring ring, spring tension lock. I don't know what it's called. But anyway, this right here, I figured it wasn't very much. Like I said, this was on sale too. Everything the Longshot, all the guts for the Longshot I bought, they were all on sale. So, you know, it was worth it. But like I said, I think $7, $8 for this. And then like I said, the rose gold was cheaper. So I went ahead with rose gold again. I don't care what it looks like. Now, this is one thing that was of concern to me because it looked different in the pictures. I wasn't sure exactly how it was going to work. But this is a kit. This is the worker kit. I got it. All this stuff coming from out of Darts. And what this is this has got the spring and a plunger and the trigger spring catch, plunger catch, whatever they call it. And I think it's a K26 spring, K25. I don't know. I don't have any of those springs. But I don't know what you're going to do with this. Because you're not going to get this in that Longshot. You're not getting this in there. I don't care. There's no way that you're going to get that in there. So I don't know why they give you that. Maybe you got to cut it. I don't know. Maybe you do. I ordered the one that's actually for it. So that just came with the kit. But it looks like it's some super good mod potential for other blasters, and it will work in retaliators and other blasters of sort. So that's all good. So we're getting all these pieces out of here, and I'll show you what's all up in this kit and what all kind of pieces we're getting ready to add. So that kit comes with a spring, as I said. I think this is a K26. I think that's right. Not 100%. We won't be using that in this blaster. Maybe I might cut a piece of it off and put it in the front gun. Now that might happen. So it comes with that spring, and then you've got. Actually, I guess this is the breech. So this would be the breech tube here. So you got that. And then here's your solid. And this is one thing that made me nervous. This is why I wanted this. So here's your plunger. Full aluminum plunger. And then you got your actual back here where your catch hits it right there and catches it. And then it's double O-ring too. Now I'm not using the upgrade plunger tube, so I don't know. This might not work. I might have to get the upgrade plunger tube. If that's the case, we'll find out, and then I'll just have to wait till I get that to finish the video, which is fine. Because with all this extra pieces I'm putting in there, it's going to be super duper stout. They give you a couple extra O-rings. I don't know if it's just good guy O-rings or if these are thicker. You tear them up. I don't know. And then there's your plunger catch, trigger catch, or whatever you want to call it. This piece right here is what's failing in the original. I knew it would. I knew it would start to because there's so much spring pressure on that. I knew it was going to cause an issue. I just knew it would because I've had the same issue in a Retaliator. Retaliators will not take heavy duty springs. You put a heavy duty spring in a regular Retaliator, it won't take it. I don't care what anybody says. It won't take it. I'm telling you, I've already done 2 or 3 and it will not do it. So that's another project. But you put a really heavy one in there, won't even hold it. So that I knew was going to happen. The only reason I did this is because in the actual Longshot, in the end of it, using the factory plunger, which there's nothing wrong with it. It works really great. If I'd have done a more mild spring upgrade, I wouldn't put any of this in there because it's good enough for that. But now I'm going to be using the tube. Now that's kind of, I don't know. That might not be the best idea either. We'll find out. I might be back in it again. But with the factory one, it's back here on the back of the tube. The plunger tube, it's actually got a cap that goes over it like this. And that's what holds your spring would go right in here. And then it's got those 2 screws. And that's it. Those 2 screws screw into plastic. And that plastic's the only thing that holds all that spring tension right here. That's why I was saying there's just no way that you're going to get, I don't know how you would get all that on that tube. Because you got to get all this on there. To right there. But anyway, maybe you're supposed to cut it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb for that part. But anyway, this upgrade here, I think this was more of a kind of a safety thing because I think what was going to happen is it was going to fail. I'm not worried about getting hurt by it, but I think it would actually, it would eventually, because the original one has a plunger goes here, so it only has this much. And there's one screw goes in the middle, like they did on a lot of. I've got another Icon or two, and that's how it was made. It's kind of cool because it's a lot easier to modify it because you take that out, pull it off, pull the spring out. You can change the spring real easy and put it back on. No big deal. But it is kind of a big deal because I don't think it'll take that high pressure. I really don't. I think eventually it'll break. I can't believe it hasn't broke yet because I've shot that thing quite a bit, and it's getting to where when you prime it back, like I gotta take both hands to prime back that 10.5. It's pretty super stout, but it's getting to where sometimes it fires when you shove it forward. So I'm just waiting for it to go and bust the end out of it. So that's a thing. But yeah, if you're gonna do one of these and you don't want to go through all this stuff, I recommend staying at least under 8. I don't know what springs they got. This is a 10.5. They make them way higher. They make them all the way up to like 18. I don't know why in the world you would ever do that. They take a Mack truck to prime that thing back with an 18 in it. I don't know how you would ever do that because it takes 10.5 takes 2 hands full. Anyway, now it puts too much of a flex on the blaster without doing that. But like I said, I think an 8 would be about right. Maybe 9. 9's kind of pretty stout too. But you definitely got to take the restrictor out. It has to be on because none of this would do anything if you left the restrictor, and it would be like defeating the purpose. Because I tried it, I thought, you know what? Let's just see what it does. I'm gonna leave the restrictor in there. That way you can go worry about dry firing or anything. Who cares, you know? And it took its performance from 67 to 80. That's it. 67 to 80. I gained 13 foot a second off a gigantic spring, and I'm like, no way. There's just so much more power in that thing now. So when I took the actual restrictor out, I used a 9. Like I said, I can put some pictures if people want to see it. I'll just put it in the community tab maybe. I don't know how I'll make all that work. But I got tons of pictures I took. A 9/16 bit? I think it was a 9/16 bit. I've got different various bits. They're all half-inch drive. You can get them at your hardware store. I don't know what hardware store you got where you're at, but most big box store hardware stores will have half-inch drive drill chuck that's bigger drilling. And it was 9/16. But anyway, 9/16 went right down in there, and I was able to cleanly drill out my the air restrictor and the post in there, and I can get rid of all that stuff. And did I take the post out? I think I left the post. I left the post in there. I'm pretty sure that I did. I think I actually left my post in there. Exit first step. Did I leave my post? We're going to look. I don't remember. I think I left it because I wanted it to stay in there. Maybe I couldn't. Yeah, I can't. I don't remember now. Did I leave it? I think I left it in there. I think I left the post in there. I was able to drill the restrictor out of the back. And, yeah, I was able to drill the restrictor out of the back and leave the post. So, I guess you could cut it out more. I just wanted to leave it that way. The actual, as you push it forward, your center post can help guide the dart. And maybe you don't need it. I just didn't want my darts doing weird stuff, going back down into the plunger tube or any of that stuff. Because sometimes, you mess with one of these, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you got to jam them forward pretty hard because they don't want to feed right. And they screw up. Especially if you got one that's hopped up like this. So I left that in there so I didn't have to worry about that happening. So, but yeah, restrictor gone. Once the restrictor springs out, take all that stuff out of there. I can't remember exactly. I drilled it out. Like I said, I got pictures. I drilled out with 9/16 and left the post. I don't remember how I did it anyway. I got pictures and I can do something with that. Or when I get it apart, I can come down and make another little video of something in progress of what I've done with the blaster, just to share it with you. That way you've kind of got a guide. Now I'll probably do that. I'll bring it back down here. That way you guys can see, and I'll bring the inside and show you, you know, what it's all about and what I'm getting ready to do to it. And you got to run down the parts, and then we're gonna go upstairs. We'll take it apart, and we'll be back here in a little while. All right, so we got our Longshot all torn apart here, and I wanted to show you what it looks like on the inside in case you've never done one of these. So this is how when you get it apart, this is what it looks like. I should have got the magazine out of it first, but I didn't worry about it. I stuck it in there so you can see it, because all this stuff's coming. I'm pulling all this stuff out anyway. But pieces that we're changing the trigger out. So we got a trigger, we got the spring, and then this piece here we're changing, and then the actual plunger in here we're keeping the tube. You can see here though, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it got, when I put it together, maybe I messed that up or something. Something's not happy, but you can see where it's pushed and kind of tore on that a little bit. So that's probably an error on my part. I did something wrong when I had it apart. But then here's the carrier here. We'll be changing this piece too. So this piece, and then here's actually the breech. So the breech and the carrier, and then the plunger, and the spring inside of this we will reuse because we've already upgraded it. So we'll reuse it, and then like I said, the catch. So pretty much most of the mechanism other than our tube will be the same. And then the actual, I guess the forward barrel, pusher part of the barrel, however you want to call that. The part in here that actually pushes forward as you prime. So that's barrel, that piece and this piece we'll be reusing, and then the end cap. But everything else, as far as the plunger, the actual breech, the trigger, and then latch, and all that, and then the carrier will all be reused. Or it would all be new. It would all be the new stuff that I showed you earlier. And then I'm gonna go get tearing it apart, seeing how I can get all this stuff fit in, and then I'll show you what it looks like as we get it in there. And I'm not gonna show you taking it all apart because it's really, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of complicated, but not really. But I will show you though to get it apart. It's quite simple, really. The actual plunger tube on the back of it here, you see that, that's got 2 screws. You take these 2 screws out right here, and then you can actually pull the plunger and the spring and everything out the back, and then the tube stays. To change the trigger, you got this 1 screw here. You take it out, that's gone. This piece will just fall out. You gotta be careful, it just falls out. This one right up here, I don't think you have to have this. I think it's just for ratchet or something. I don't know. I don't think you even need it, but I'm gonna leave it in there. And then this lock right here, if you want to upgrade or change or remove it, I don't know if you have to have that, but anyway, there's 1 screw right there. You take that out. This right here is it's a lock for the actual sled, the bolt carrier, but it has to be down in order for your actual trigger release to release. Or it's this one. This one needs to be down. But these 2 here work with the bolt and all. And I mean, some of the stuff you can probably take out. I don't know. I might take out what I don't need, or I might just leave it alone, because these things are a little bit finicky. They're a lot better than a Longstrike. I took my Longstrike apart. Not impressed with it. I won't probably ever do another one of those. A lot more pieces. Some of this stuff I think you can probably get rid of. I'm not 100% sure on that. Like I said, it doesn't seem to mess up. I mean, basically, you can't pull the bolt back after you've already primed it with the locks that's in there, which is okay. I mean, I guess. I mean, maybe I should just take it out. I don't know. But, so what we're going to do, like I said, I'm going to take all this stuff out. I'll probably take this out too. You don't have to do that, but I'm going to take this out, and that way that's gone. And this is just a barrel piece. Take that out, and then, like I said, new, 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 and new. So all that stuff will be new. And then, yeah, I'll show you probably when I get it all back together. I'll show you I'll bring it back down, and I'll show you again before I actually close it all up. That way you can see what all I've actually done, what the new parts look like in there. But yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna make a video taking it. I mean, I told you pretty much how to do it. Now the sled, now this carrier here, I'm not sure how that's going to work, because if you look here, this carrier's got rollers on it. And the one that I got metal, it doesn't have this. So I don't know if you're going to have to pull those pins out and use these, or if it just doesn't get wheels. I don't know. So I don't know about that. That's the first time for me. So there's that. There's the insides. I've explained what we're removing, and then I'm going to go and do a little bit of work. And I'm going to do some investigation on this over here. I don't know why this down here on the tube right in there is all messed up. I don't know what happened here. So I don't know if maybe when I put it in there, I had it twist it out maybe like this, or I didn't have it perfectly flat. I'm not sure what happened. There's obviously been some serious, you can see it, it's had some serious pushing right there. And like I said, this tube here with that kit, I don't know if that's even going to work. So if it don't work, we might be done until I get a tube ordered. I might have to put it out to the aftermarket tube in it too. So they're making aluminum cylinders you can put in there too. But anyway, here we go. A little update on this one here. It's been a little while since I made a video. It's been sitting and I haven't messed with it, but I wanted to come back and finish the video. And I'm going to go ahead and include the part that I already did, because there were some pieces and parts that I explained what I was going to do, and I didn't do it because they actually didn't work out right. What I did do is I went ahead and changed the breech, or the actual, it's not the breech, it's actually the carrier. I'm going to call it the carrier, because it carries the whole bolt and everything in there. And this is all metal. And then I went ahead and I put the trigger in, got the metal trigger. It's a really good upgrade for this. Now, the breech was wrong. The spring is wrong, which I already knew that wasn't right to start with. And the plunger system wasn't right, and the catch wasn't right. That kit that I got is for a long strike. This is a long shot. They are not the same. But anyway, so I reused the original plunger tube system in here, and then my catch is still the same too. So hopefully it's going to be okay. It really needs to be upgraded, the catch back there. But anyway, we do have the 10.5 kg spring in there. We changed the bolt, carrier, and this trigger, which is a really good upgrade. I really like it. It's nice. With the string as well. So this thing runs about 120 to 130, sometimes right around 135 with full-length darts. Most of the safety features, all of them, I believe I left in there. I did have to remove this because it just seemed like it was really not working right. It was kind of jamming it up, so I took the cover off of it. And this one here, so most of the kits will tell you, you can see it right there, this is actually an icon. Most of the kits will tell you they don't know if it fits icons. It does, because it's exactly the same thing. This is exactly the same as a regular long shot, whether it's a zombie long shot, or if you've got the original, like this one right here, the blue and the yellow and all that. It fits all of them. It's perfectly the same. I figured this was a better one to screw up because it's an icon. I really didn't care about tearing it up. But so all in all, after doing this, what I would take away from it, I would get all the metal pieces that you possibly can. This makes a super really good blaster without it, with all the metal. I would not run a 10.5 kg. This is what's in here. It shoots really fast. It's got a ton of power, but it's super hard to prime it. I would back down to like 8, which is still going to give you probably 100, which is really, really good. And you're going to have a really good prime. Like I said, a kid can't prime this. There's no way. I got to put it on my knee to prime this thing. So super cool, but practical, not at all, really. You'd be wore out to use this very much at all. The front gun I haven't done anything with. I was going to, and I might still. I just haven't, and that might be a different video. I just wanted to finish this up because I've done it in like 3 sections, and like I said, some of it's not really, it's kind of obsolete because I didn't do it what I said I was going to do, or it didn't work. But I just wanted to put it all in there. That way you could see it if you've been to one of these, and then explain what I did, and if you ever run into the issues, you'll see what I had, and then maybe your issue, you can figure it out or fix it. And yeah, I just want to finish it, and this is a follow-up of what it is and what it did, and I really like it. It's pretty good. It's super powerful, and an icon, if you can find one, is a perfect one to do this to. Instead of tearing up your original one like that one up there, I didn't want to tear that one up. So yeah, hopefully this helps somebody. Hope you enjoy it. It was kind of fun to do. It was a little aggravating. There's a ton of screws in these things take out all the time. But a lot of it was on my part not realizing that that was for a long strike, not a long shot. So maybe still in the future I might do some upgrading. I would still love to change the piston system, the plunger tube, the catch, and all of that. I would love to change in this thing, and this would be flawless. Put a new breech in it. This would be really super nice then. Maybe in the future. But thanks for watching.